This is an extraordinary time for journalists, citizen journalists, professional journalists, and young men and women who aspire to be journalists. My name is Bill Gentile, and I'm an independent documentary filmmaker, and I teach at American University at Washington, D.C. The world has been made small by technology. No longer do you have to work for a large international corporation to raise your voice to get your message out. I tell my students that they've really got about 10, 15 seconds to get the audience invested in their piece. And you do that by telling stories through character. The best stories are always told through the prism of one person's experience, a good character. A good example of this is a piece that I did recently about the nursing shortage in the United States. It's called Nurses Needed. I wanted an establishing shot of Megan Stack, and if you notice through this piece, you'll see a lot of close-ups. Even with this camera that I'm using, I'm just hand-holding the camera. I'm not using a tripod. I'm getting close to things because these close-ups are really what conveys a sense of intimacy. And I follow her movement. I can zoom out and shoot her as she's walking down the hallway. It's got pretty dramatic light coming in from a window in the background. But we've got a frail hand, and it conveys a message of need, of sickness that we needed to portray in this whole piece.
I've been a nurse here for about 2 years.
She embodied this whole idea of a nurse under a lot of stress and strain. I can move around her. My lens goes down and captures what she's carrying. It comes back to her face when she's talking on the phone. It's behind her when she's walking over to a desk. It circles around when she goes back to another machine.
Ultrasound.
There's 3 points that your characters have to pass through to be able to be used in one of these pieces. Number 1, she allowed us to portray her as a character. Number 2, she had a very, very compelling story to tell. And number 3, she was articulate in telling that story.
And it's not here, but I got a deep breath.
The use of these cameras, I can get close to somebody like this, shoot their picture, make their picture, I can move this thing around in a way that I can't move around a larger shoulder-held camera. You don't have to go this far. You can have something like this. There are people out there today making, compelling documentaries with tools like this. This technology is perfect for use by citizen journalists who are out there in the field, who have to be nimble, who have to move quickly, who don't want to draw a lot of attention, but who want to capture really powerful images and convey them worldwide, internationally. If you have access to these tools in the internet, and if you have some knowledge of speaking the visual language, you can raise your voice. You can participate in what we call citizen journalism. You can have an impact.